Zampula, Namaste. A very warm welcome to today's music online session. I welcome all the students, all the music lovers. We will be taking a quick revision of the entire week what we have done. I shall also be giving you some important homeworks for the weekends so that you can practice. And if there is any queries, if there are any doubts, I'll be happy to answer that as well. Okay. There are let me start with this. There are many comments, many messages which we are receiving about the offline classes, the physical classes. I would like to urge and I would like to request to each one of you that at present we are trying our best in whichever way we can start the offline and physical classes, but the situations, the protocols has to be it has to be judged properly. We are just coming out of the COVID-19 period, so it's very important that we keep all the precautions, we understand all the situations very well, and then we will start the offline classes. But I'm very sure we are going to start it very soon. Okay, we just have to be very composed and calm, and kindly please practice at your home and make yourself useful to all these online sessions which you are receiving. Prabir Kumar Sarkarji, I have seen your request. I'm sorry, I won't be able to take any requests here as far as the sharing of video is concerned. But yes, if you have any doubts, you can comment and I'll be happy to answer that. So kindly do not send any request of sharing the video, but I'll be happy to answer based on your comments. Okay. So we will start with 3 Omkar as usual. Kindly sit straight and let's focus on breathing. Listen to Tanpura very carefully, and then one by one all the swaras, Shuddha swaras, Komal swaras, Tivra swaras. Let us start with the Shuddha Swaras. us do it in second speed.
Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa.
Let us do this in third speed as well.
Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa.
Let us do the Komal and Tivra Swaras as well. Now this time, instead of doing separately, we'll be taking all the Komal Swaras along with the Tivra Swaras. So Re, Ga, Ma, Dha, Ni. These all 5 Swaras will be changed. You can follow my voice. तो हमने पिछले हफ्ते, this is what we had done in the last week, this entire week in fact, we did some exercises, we did understood about some range exercises, some breathing exercises, some swara patterns. If there is any doubt, I'm happy to read your comment and I'll be even happier to answer that and sing that one as well for you. Anyone who is joining a little late, they can always find the entire video on the YouTube channel of India and Bhutan, and then they can practice as well. Okay, so I see there are no new comments. We will continue. The other thing we had learned was the patterns of swaras. Now, kinds of swaras and patterns of swaras. These both the swaras, both the variations are different. When we talk about pattern of swaras, it can be combination permutations of swaras. When we talk about kinds of swaras, it can be only 3, which is Shuddha, Komal and Tivra. So don't get confused. We'll be taking now 2 or 3 pattern of swaras in all the Shuddha notes, Shuddha swaras, so that you will be able to understand and sing, accurately. So the first pattern which what we can take is
Sa sa re 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 ga.
Okay, you all can follow with me. 1, 2, 3, go.
Sa sa re re ga 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 ma ma pa da da ni sa sa ni da da pa ma ga re sa.
Once again.
Sa re ga ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa.
The second pattern would be
Sa re ga ma.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa.
Maybe one more we can take is, maybe this is also an extension of the same swara pattern what we have been doing it. So
Sa re ga ga ma pa.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sa re ga ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa.
So all these patterns will make you understand, basically a structure of the swaras. It will be saved in your brain, in your head. And believe me, whenever you want to sing something, out of your improvisation, out of your curiosity, you will be able to do that. Okay?
Sa re ga ga ma pa da ni sa.
Now there can also be a second variation to come down. So we need not have to every time start from sa. Like while coming down, we were doing so far.
Sa ni da.
Right? We were doing this. Now instead of this, the same way how we have sung in the ascending order can be sung in the descending order as well. So this was the ending.
Pa da ni sa.
Now
da ni sa pa da ni ma pa da ga ma pa re ga ma sa re ga ni sa re da ni sa.
So ये जो अभी तक हम ये जो पैटर्न्स गा रहे हैं, आज मैं आपको इसके बारे में एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज बताने जा रहा हूं. हम ये सारे जो कॉम्बिनेशंस हैं, जो स्वर के पैटर्न्स हम गा रहे हैं, शास्त्रीय संगीत की भाषा में इसको अलंकार कहते हैं. All these patterns, all these variations which we are singing right now with different combinations, permutations, these basically combinations in Indian classical music called as alankar. Alankar. Okay? Please don't forget. So, if someone asks how many kinds of alankar would exist, how many kinds of alankar do we have to sing? Now the answer is very simple. It is infinite. जितना आप बनाना चाहें, जितने combinations आप करने चाहें, आप कर सकते हैं. And believe me, there are many musicologists who have actually written books on this. Volume by 1, volume by 2, and still in the last line they would write that only for this volume we have written so far this much. So it can be even 100 volumes, 1000 volumes. It is actually infinite. तो ये कॉम्बिनेशन याद करने से, ये सारी चीजें दिमाग में बैठाने से क्या होगा, आपके दिमाग में स्वर स्थान अलग अलग तरीके से बैठने लगेंगे। यानी म का स्थान मालूम हो गया, प का स्थान तो मालूम हो गया, ध मालूम हो गया, सब स्वर मालूम हो गए। लेकिन जब कॉम्बिनेशन में गाने जाते हैं तो यू वुड मेक मिस्टेक, वो नहीं होना चाहिए। और ये अलंकार प्रैक्टिस करने से ही आपके स्वर स्थान भी अच्छे होंगे। तो यदि मैंने सिर्फ ये सा बजाया, सा, अभी बिना प गाए मुझे मालूम होना चाहिए कि ये प है। सा प, लेट्स चेक, ओके। सा प, करेक्ट। लेट अस चेक नी, नी, ये सारी चीजें आपको दिमाग में बैठने लगेंगी। दनी निसा पमा पधा, you know, all these kinds of combinations. पध धरे रे धा दरे रे नी मा मा प सा प सरे ग नि द रे ग म प ध द नि रे प म नि द रे नि सा प ग म प नि सा रे। तो मैं सोच, मेरे दिमाग में जो चीज आ रही है, आई एम एबल टू सिंग इट। ये मैं अपनी तारीफ नहीं कर रहा हूं, ये मैं कॉम्बिनेशंस के बारे में आपको बताना चाह रहा हूं। दिस इज ऑल अबाउट, यू नो, इफ यू प्रैक्टिस ऑल दीज अलंकार्स वेरी वेल, ये पैटर्न्स आपके दिमाग में बैठ जाएंगे, ये स्वर आपके दिमाग में बैठ जाएंगे। ओके, देन एज अ पार्ट ऑफ रिविजन वी हैड ऑल्सो टेकन सम लेसन्स ऑफ हारमोनियम, which is one of the instrument, and in the next week we'll be taking tabla. So हारमोनियम के लिए मैंने आपको चीजें बताई थी कि इसमें हम C और C शार्प से हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं। मैं अभी आपको पूरा बजा के बताने की जरूरत नहीं, आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव अंडरस्टूड, बट इफ देयर इज एनी डाउट यू कैन ऑलवेज आस्क मी। आई एम जस्ट मेकिंग अ जिस्ट एंड लेटिंग यू नो। हारमोनियम को बजाने के लिए दोनों हाथों का इस्तेमाल होता है। वी ऑल्सो प्ले विद द लेफ्ट हैंड एंड द राइट हैंड। Right hand works on the fingers, on the keys, you know, whatever the swaras you want to play, and the left hand would be only blowing up the air. And this goes vice versa if you are lefty, okay? So right hand would be only blowing in the air, and left hand would be playing the notes of the harmonium. The third point which I had mentioned you about the harmonium was, it's a very delicate instrument. It's a very, very delicate instrument. You have to make sure that you do not press hard, or you do not blow in air so much that, you know, the air chamber which is producing the sound will actually will be destroyed. So it should not happen like that. Lastly, I had told you about the harmonium, that first you should master the fingers. You should understand where to put all the keys, and then you should master kind of understanding what you want to play. यदि हमारा हाथ पहले तैयार हो जाएगा तो हमें क्या बजाना है ये हमें मालूम हो जाएगा और आसान हो जाएगा। चलिए, और कोई डाउट्स हैं आपके? इफ देयर इज एनी डाउट आई विल बी हैप्पी टू आंसर। Okay then, so this is the homework which I would like to give you. Kindly practice all the swaras, all kinds of swaras and all patterns of swaras. Number 2, kindly understand the importance of harmonium or tabla in Indian classical music. Kindly listen the videos, go through YouTube, go through Facebook, you know, wherever the availabilities are, and find out what is the best we can understand from these instruments. And third, last, I would now request you, all of you, to start listening good Indian classical music. I'm going to name few artists. You have to write it down, and later you should hear them out. Listening is something which is really going to help you a lot. So the number one artist as a part of your listening homework would be Pandit Bhim Sen Joshi. I repeat, Pandit Bhim Sen Joshi. Number 2, Ustad Zakir Hussain. I repeat, Ustad Zakir Hussain. And number third, as a part of little lighter music and film music, I would be very happy if you can listen to one and only Lata Mangeshkar ji. Lata Mangeshkar ji. So listen to all these three artists as much as you can. I'll be happy to know from each one of you that, what were the recordings you could hear? Was there any observations you could find? Is there anything new you wanted to ask? So I'll be very happy to answer that. So kindly go through all the videos, listen to them, and try to understand what kind of music they are singing, what exactly they want to produce out of their the music. Any doubts? Anything you want to ask? And then, or else we will conclude the session today. Okay, I see there are no new comments, so we will end up here. Let us do the Om Shanti and then we will end up the session. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you everyone. See you on Monday.